Today, we are going to study the second portion of the rise of nationalism in Europe. That is, the French Revolution and the idea of the nation. The idea of nationalism came in the mind of people with the French Revolution in 1789. Before that, such a concept was not there. The idea of nationalism, belongingness towards a nation, came with the French Revolution of 1789, occurred in the year 1789. And if you can remember, French was a territorial state or a country in the year 1789 at the time of revolution. It was a full territorial state in 1789. It was like a nation, it was like a country. The year 1789 at the time of revolution. It was not divided into numerous kingdoms. It was under the control of an absolute monarch, Louis XVI, in the year 1789. And after French Revolution, a lot of changes occurred in the polity of France. It led to the transfer of sovereignty, control, power from the monarchy, from the ruler to the French citizen, hands of French citizen. It became a constitutional monarchy. Afterwards, it became a republic. After French Revolution, there was transfer of sovereignty. Sovereignty means here control. The word meaning of sovereignty means if your country is not under the control of external forces and internal forces, that is what we call sovereign. So here, control transferred from monarchy, ruler, to the body of citizen. Body of citizen means the parliament. And henceforth, the fate of France, the destiny of France will be designed by the people, not by the monarch. Now again, no role for the absolute monarch or the king. From the very beginning, from the starting itself, French revolutionaries, after the revolution, they started various measures and policies for bringing a sense of collective identity among the French people. Collective identity means the feeling that we belong to a single nation, we belong to France, that kind of feeling, like we are the citizen of India, that kind of patriotism, patriotic feeling, national feeling, that is what we call the collective identity. So revolutionaries tried to develop collective identity among themselves as well as in the mind of people. They introduced certain concepts called la patrie, that means fatherland or motherland. In the case of India, not motherland, then lay city and citizen. It is everybody is equal, men, women, all are equal. That kind of feeling. All are citizens only, not ruler or ruled, oppressor, oppressed. Everybody will be citizens. And they emphasized the notion of a united community, a brotherhood, brothers and sisters of a country, that kind of feeling emerged in the minds of people after the French Revolution. And they started framing the constitution. And this constitution, we learned in French Revolution too, they gave equal rights for everyone. During French Revolution, society was divided into first estate, second estate, third estate. But after the designing of constitution, equal rights for everyone. Then what about the other changes which came into being after French Revolution? A new flag was designed for France. A new flag came. This a tricolor flag comprised of white, red, blue color, and previously they had former royal standard flag. Royal standard means like crown or the royal stick. All these things were there in royal standard flag. Now they replaced the royal standard flag with a tricolor flag. And ex-state general was elected by the body of active citizens and renamed as National Assembly. So during monarchy, the parliamentary, the lawmaking body was known as Estate General, but now after French Revolution, they changed name of a state general into National Assembly. And active citizen means the people who can vote. That is known as active citizens. Of course, women were not allowed to vote. So that is why it is given here active citizens. So a state general, membership to the state general or parliament, which was renamed as, changed the name as National Assembly, consisted of active citizens. New hymns were composed. So what do you mean by new hymns? That means a song of praise. That is, you are praising nation, like our national anthem. So all those were composed. Then oaths were taken. Oaths were taken means the pledge were taken for loving your country. Like India is our country. That is our pledge. Then martyrs commemorated. Those who gave their life for the country, they were remembered. A centralized administration was put in place. Centralized administration means a central government would be there. The central government will be controlling the every province of France. Every single smaller units of France will be under the control of a centralized administrative system or a single government. But for the convenience of administration, you can divide France into numerous units. That is okay. Then, and also they made uniform laws for all citizens. Uniform law means same law for the citizen who are living in France. So when monarchy is there or when kings are ruling, there will be different rules for different citizens. Maybe we studied that before the coming up of nationalism, before the coming up of independence, the people who are speaking language, the same language, were under the control of different rulers. So when different rulers are ruling the same country itself, each province, each region will have different rules. So people will be speaking same language, people will have same culture, but they will have different laws. Take the case of India. We were divided into 550 native kingdoms before independence. So 550 native kingdoms had different coins, different currencies, different laws, different custom duties. So all these are messy and very disturbing. So once they became a republic, they designed a constitution, they made uniform, same law for everyone. Internal custom duties were abolished. Internal custom duties means the taxes on trade, taxes on export and import. That is what we call custom duties. All those things were abolished. Then uniform system, same system of weight and measures. Sometimes when we go to villages and all, they are using stone as a weight. So there 1 kg means maybe more than 1 kg or less than 1 kg. But in cities where the government officials are keeping an eye on the people, the sellers and all, they are using the standard weight. So in remote areas and all, people still using stone or something to weigh the thing. All those things were banned. 1 kg in one part means 1 kg. The same 1 kg will be in other part. Then regional dialect, a lot of variations in languages were there. Now official language became French. So that was also a change made after French Revolution. Now, first revolution for the restoration, not for restoration, for bringing democracy, for bringing republic, started in France. Now they understood that it is their responsibility to make other countries democratic, make other countries republic. So that is their role. So what did they do? They started liberating other countries. Other countries had monarchies, other countries had king ruling. So these people told that it is our responsibility to liberate those countries, to make them free. And these people started going from one country to another. They were starting revolutions there. They started political clubs over there. They were telling the people to revolt against the monarch, revolt against the monarchy. So they were helping the people to get rid of despotism, get rid of the absolute power of the ruler. They were urging the people to work in that direction. Now, when people in Europe and other countries heard about French Revolution, many started making Jacobin club, political club. Why they made political clubs? So that they can work for the liberation of their nation, so that they can work for the freedom of their nation. Then activities, campaigns were held everywhere, and even French armies started moving from one country to another. That means in European countries, They started moving from Holland, they started moving to Belgium, they started moving to Switzerland and Italy in 1790s. Now, when these armies went there, naturally war will happen between the countries, but these war were glorified in the name of bringing nationalism or making the countries democratic. They were glorified in that way. And because of that, people gave full support to such war. And the French armies were seen as messengers of nationalism. They were carrying the idea of nationalism to other countries of the world. You can see the European map here: France, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Ottoman Empire, Serbia, Austria. So a lot of countries are there in Europe. This is about the 18th century map within a wide swath. Wide swath means the area of country that came under the control Napoleon Bonaparte. That is first. After French Revolution, it became constitutional monarchy. France became constitutional monarchy. France became republic, but again France went into the hands of Napoleon. So Napoleon was also like a dictator, was also like a monarch. Okay, once again monarchy came in France, but even though he destroyed democracy, he introduced a lot of new measures in France. And let us see what are the new measures in France. What were the new measures introduced by Napoleon in France by getting the control of France? So he introduced a civil code, a set of laws, you can say, in the year 1804, which came to be known as a Napoleonic Code. This group of laws were known as Napoleonic Code, and he removed all the privileges based on birth. Privileges means the special rights which you are getting by birth itself. No need to work hard for it. Is if you belong to a higher caste, you will get all the privileges. If you are very rich, you will get all the privileges. If you are the son and daughter of a film star, you will get the privilege. If you are the son or daughter of a politician, you will get the privilege. So all those special rights were removed, brought equality before law. Everybody is equal before law, and you will get equal protection of law. Secured right of property. Nobody can take your property away. Even the government cannot take the property away. So everybody got that right of property. And these laws were sent to other countries which were under the control of French rule. Is after French Revolution, French armies started moving from one country to another. They were spreading the spirit of nationalism. They were spreading the message of democracy, republic. People got attracted. So somehow these countries came under the control of Napoleon Bonaparte. So wherever he went, wherever the French armies went, he introduced his law over there. He introduced his constitution over there. Even though these countries were ruled by the people who were appointed by Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte did not control them directly. He appointed certain people to control these territories. He simplified administrative division. That means he divided the country into smaller parts so that it become easy to rule these portions. Then freed peasants from serfdom. Serfdom means he freed peasants, farmers, etc. from feudalism. Feudalism means the landlord would be there, king and landlord would be there. And under landlord, the peasants and farmers had to work. They had to give a share to the peasants. Peasants had to give share to the landlord. There will be a big manorial estate, huge acres of land. A big compound would be there. That is known as manorial estate. In that manorial estate, a landlord home would be there, and a lot of villages and a lot of small homes of peasants, farmers, slaves, etc. were there. So everything will be in one compound. One church would be there. People can go to church, people can cultivate in their village, but a portion should be given to the landlord. And landlord will protect these people from war and other problems. And whenever the king need, landlord should help the king, and the landlord can get the help of the peasants or farmers and all. That is, they will be enrolled in army and all. They will be helping the king. And why the landlord is helping the king? Because landlord has got the land from the king. He has given them the land. So it is a responsibility of the king to help them. That is why they are doing in that way. Okay. Now, in towns too, so manorial dues. Manorial due means manorial estate, I told you. It's name of the manorial estate, landlord estate. That is, if you are having due, if you are not able to pay the tax on time, then it will be accumulated. There will be lot of tax, there will be lot of fine and fine and fine. When you are not paying the fees, you have to pay the fine. In the same way, dues would be there. If you are not paying the money on time, dues would be there. So he removed all these dues. Removed feudalism, that's a type of social system where king, landlord, vassal, slaves, such a type of social system was there in France and other countries of Europe. That was known as a feudalism or serfdom, where king will give land to the landlord will give the king land to the peasants, then peasants to the small farmers, landless people to the slave, and they will be living in a single compound. So that is what we call feudalism. So he removed all these things, manorial dues are not. Then guild restriction. Guild means the association of craftsmen and the merchants, that is known as the guild. So if you want to get membership in guild, it is not very easy to get membership in guild. There is a lot of restrictions were there. If you are an experienced person, then you will easily get membership into the guild. Otherwise, you will not get membership in guild. Getting membership in guild was very, very difficult. New merchants, new craftsmen were not able to get membership in the guild. So he removed all these restrictions, he removed all these controls. Now peasants, artisans, workers, and new businessmen enjoyed new freedom because he gave lot of liberal ideas to these people, equality, restrictions, everything removed. So they all supported Napoleon Bonaparte. Businessmen and small-scale producers began to realize that uniform laws, standardized weights and measures, and a common nation currency would facilitate movement and exchange of goods and capital from one region to another. That is very clear. If you are having same law for the entire country, very easy. Otherwise, 100 different laws will be there for different parts. It will be very difficult. So here one law means it is very easy. Then everywhere 1 kilo means Kashmir, Kanyakumari, Gujarat or Arunachal Pradesh, 1 kg is equal to 1 kg only. Napoleon introduced those kind of changes in France and other countries of Europe. Before that, it was not like that. Weight measures, everything was differing from region to region. Even laws were differing from regions to region. A lot of currencies were also there. But now, no different currencies, only one national currency was there. It facilitated or it helped the movement of moving of goods easily from one region to another. Otherwise, if you want to move from one region to another, then you will have to pay the tax. Because different taxes are there, then you will have to exchange your currency because you are moving to other part. The laws would be different. So it was very, very difficult. But he removed all these things. But in the beginning, everybody welcomed Napoleon Bonaparte enthusiastically. But afterwards, French people even started behaving like oppressors. Okay, that is, they were welcomed as harbingers of liberty, that is, messengers of freedom. They were welcomed in that way. It means Milan, Warsaw, Switzerland, Holland, Italy, and all. But afterwards, it turned into hostility, turned into enmity, because these people also started controlling them. A lot of control, even though they got freedom. But afterwards, their nature of rule changed. They started ruling like monarchical form of government. Of course, it was like monarchy only, but policies were a little bit liberal. But again, all these things got changed completely drastically. They started showing their true color, true nature. So people started hating them. Enmity started coming there. Hostility started coming there. Even though a lot of new administrative changes started coming there, political freedom was less. That means you cannot criticize the ruler. Then men, women equality was not there. Voting rights was not extended to everyone. And slavery was not abolished. So political freedom means voting right, standing in election, then making of parliament. All these things are known as the political freedom. So all these things were less, even though a lot of new measures were introduced. And afterwards, they started increasing the taxes. Then censorship. You cannot criticize the ruler. You cannot write anything against the ruler. Then forced conscription into the French army. That is, if you are young, then you will have to serve in the army. Forced recruitment in the army. You have to serve in army. You have to fight for Napoleon Bonaparte. So all these things were criticized. Increased taxation, censorship, forced enrollment in the army. All these things were widely criticized. So here, which all question answers are coming. So how the people treated Napoleon Bonaparte in the beginning, how it changed into hostility, enmity, that can be asked. Then what are the measures introduced under the Napoleonic Code, or what are the provisions of Civil Code of 1804, that can be asked. Then what are the advantages which came in France after French Revolution, or what all the major changes took place in France after French Revolution, how the Republican ideals came into being in France, that can be asked in examination. Then you will have to read the pictures also, read the information given below the picture. You can see almanac designed by journalist Edward Straberman. Here there is a destruction of Basel and a destruction of a similar fortress like Basel in Germany was shown there. Then how, then map is given here. Then how one side people are planting the tree of liberty. Other side you can see here, the poor men are being beaten up by the army of France. So one side they are planting the tree of liberty, and other side they are behaving like oppressor. Hopefully you understood what I